Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be going over the brand new Legend of Korra Complete Series Blu-ray Limited Edition Steelbook collection that is going to be releasing. This is going to be coming out on March 16th of 2021. It's going to retail in the US for $97.99 and then in Canada for $107.99, and this one will be limited to 10,000 pieces, so it is half of the production amount that they did for the previous Avatar: The Last Airbender Steelbook collection, which is one that I did pick up, and that was what kind of prompted me to want to make this video even more, because this is a collection that I am very interested in. I've actually already pre-ordered it on Amazon.ca's website, so I'll actually be sure to leave links down below so that you guys can check them out on Amazon.ca and .com as well, and those aren't affiliate links, by the way. I won't get any sort of commission, but just in case you want to have easy access if you want to pick up this collection here. But we're going to get into all of the details about it, the design, the special features, and just my thoughts and opinions on it in general. But for now, let's get straight into it here with the design. Alright, so getting started here, in my opinion, the design of this Steelbook collection is just phenomenal. I mean, the Avatar: The Last Airbender set was just absolutely gorgeous, and that's what really prompted me to purchase it, because it's not like it's a cheap pickup. It's definitely something that's quite expensive, but that one I was fortunate enough to get it on a pretty good sale. But this one here, I wanted to pre-order it right away because it is so limited in the piece count, and I would recommend you do the same if you're a huge fan of The Legend of Korra and if you really want to collect and get this Steelbook collection. But I absolutely love the front cover of it. I think that just looks amazing. I love the amount of detail that they put in the texturing of like the stone is sort of going around Korra there, and I love the artwork of Korra on the front there. I think she just looks amazing. And if you don't know how this sort of Steelbook collection works, because it's the same way as the Avatar: The Last Airbender one, where you're able to kind of switch out what the front cover is with the little Steelbook and the square there, or the rectangle, I suppose. But yeah, you can basically do that with the covers, but I think that the main one that they sort of advertise here of Korra just looks fantastic. Next up here, we're taking a look at some of the other artwork being used on the other three Steelbooks, because there are 4 of them in total, because of course, The Legend of Korra had 4 seasons, while Avatar: The Last Airbender had 3 seasons. So I really like the other artwork for these covers here. I think that they do look really fantastic, but my main sort of concern with each piece of artwork here is kind of the fact that it's going to be kind of hard to fit it in the front cover. Like, it kind of looks like it's a bit of like bigger pieces of artwork. Now, I could be totally wrong here. It might actually fit really well, because of course I don't actually have the Steelbook collection on me, but I think that it's just not like singular characters like how the Avatar set was, where they had one for Aang, then they had one for Katara, and then they had one for Toph. So I kind of wish they would have done that, but maybe just for some of the other characters, you could have done Mako, you could have done Asami just kind of in her own one, and then maybe, I don't even know, another character, you could have potentially done Bolin, I suppose. I think then you would have got the main sort of team Avatar, so I think that could have worked, but I get it. They kind of want to focus on Korra here, so we get to see her kind of interacting with different people. In these covers here, you have one with her and Aang, then you have one with her and Asami, then you have one with her and herself, which is probably, I don't know if it's my least favorite. I don't really know the order I would rank these. Definitely my favorite one is the one where it's just Korra. I think that that one just looks amazing, but the other ones I feel like are pretty good, but I think they could have been better. Alright, now we're moving on to the back of the Steelbook covers here, and you can kind of see the spines as well, which I think look really great, and I love the back of the covers here. I really have no complaints with these, because it's just Korra bending different elements here, and I love that a lot, because that's what they did with the Avatar Steelbook, was having Aang bend the different elements, so I like that they're repeating that here with Korra. I think that lines up really well with the original collection, so you're keeping some continuity there, and I just think the artwork looks really fantastic. I love Korra's design, and I think that it's really cool how she looks in all of these and the different sort of looks that we have as she goes throughout the seasons. Alright, now that's everything that we had for all of the design portions of it. I would have to say that overall I'm pretty darn satisfied with how this collection looks. I feel like they struck a good balance of kind of staying with the original edition, like the original Avatar one, keeping continuity there because they are kind of meant to go together, I would say, but then also kind of branching out on its own with that kind of new artwork style where it's not just one character, but it's kind of Korra featured with another character, so I can appreciate that with them branching out, and of course, that's why I pre-ordered the collection. I wouldn't pre-order it if I didn't like it, but I think that it looks really great. But now we're going to move on to all of the details of the release, all of the specifics, so we're going to get into that right now. Alright, so to start off here, we're going to go over each of the seasons that are included. Of course, if you're familiar with Korra, you're going to already know about these, but we have Book 1, Air, which had 12 episodes in it. Then we've got Book 2, Spirits, which had 14 episodes in it. And then we've got Book 3, Change, which had 13 episodes. And then we have Book 4, Balance, which included 13 episodes once again. So I'd say that's a pretty good amount of episodes that you're getting within this collection. Of course, that's kind of always the concern with these collections, is that you're not getting enough content and you're mainly just paying for the packaging, but I think it's really a good amount of content here. Now, I'm pretty sure they're going to be the same discs that you could get in the original Korra sort of Blu-ray set, because this series has already been released on Blu-ray, so I don't think there's going to be any huge changes, at least from what I could tell from like the press releases that came out, but you never know. There could have been a few upgrades, maybe quality-wise. It has been a few years, I would say, maybe just a year. I'm not too sure since we got the last Legend of Korra Blu-ray release, but I think that it is still pretty exciting and a good amount of episodes. Alright, so for Book 1 here, the special features that we're going to be getting include an audio commentary for episodes 1 to 12, which is really fantastic to see. I love audio commentaries, and it's great that we're getting so many for this season. Then we've got the Legend of the Puppet Bender presents the Making of a Legend, the Untold Story Part 1, so that's definitely bound to be pretty interesting. I haven't seen any of these special features because I've never owned the Legend of Korra on any sort of physical media, so it's definitely, I would say, most exciting for people like me who haven't really got to experience these at all. Then we've got the creator's favorite scenes animatics. Then we've got Welcome to Republic City, The Revelation 2, The Voice in the Night, The Spirit of Competition 2, and the winner is When Extremes Meet, and Turning the Tides, and then Endgame as the final one. So quite a few really cool sort of special features there. There isn't too much detail given out about these special features, but I'm assuming if you've already owned a release of Korra that these probably aren't brand new special features, so you'd probably already be familiar with them if you've watched them on the disc, but for now I think that those are some pretty great ones for Book 1. Then moving on to Book 2, here we have even more special features, and these include audio commentaries once again for episodes 13 to 26. Then we've got a scene for Bending. Then we've got Rebel Spirit Scene 1 and Scene 2. Then the Southern Lights Scene 1 and Scene 2. And then we have Civil Wars Part 1, Part 2. Then Peacekeepers. And then we have Beginnings Part 1 and Part 2. And then on the second page here, I know I even had to make a second page for these special features because there's so many. We've got the Guide, A New Spiritual Age, Night of 1,000 Stars, Harmonic Convergence, Darkness Falls, Light in the Dark. We have Kindred Spirits, Tenzin's Family, Inside the Book of Spirits, The Retelling of Korra's Journey, Feuding Spirits, Korra's Family. So some pretty great special features there. There are just a ton, so it is jam-packed, which is definitely great to see because it just feels like it adds so much more value, and I'm a person, at least personally, who loves watching special features on physical media releases, so it's one of the main reasons why I still collect physical media, just letting alone like the actual physical part of it. Just on the discs, I love owning those special features and seeing these behind the scenes featurettes, so it's definitely bound to be really interesting. Alright, now moving on here for Book 3, we have audio commentaries for episodes 1 to 13 of this third season. Then we have the spirit of an episode, we have a breath of fresh air, we have rebirth, and then the Earth Queen, and then we have in harm's way, and the Metal Clan as well. Then on the next page here, we have old wounds, original airbenders, the terror within, the stakeout, long live the queen, the ultimatum, enter the void, and venom of the red lotus. So there's some pretty interesting sort of special features there. I'm not really sure what they're going to entail, but I'm definitely very excited for the audio commentaries. Now for Book 4 here, we actually have probably the smallest amount of special features here, but still some pretty exciting ones. Once again, we have more audio commentaries for episodes 14 to 26. I absolutely love that throughout all of these seasons, they have audio commentaries for the episodes. I think that's just really exciting, and it's good to keep consistency between the releases here. Then we have Kuvera vs. Prince Wu. We have Republic City Hustle Parts 1 to 3. We have The Legend of the Puppet Bender presents The Making of a Legend, The Untold Story Part 2. So finally we're getting Part 2 here. We saw Part 1 all the way back in Season 1, so now we're getting Part 2 in Season 4's release here. And then we have Legend of Korra New York Comic-Con panel featurette, so that's definitely going to be interesting. I love seeing the Comic-Con panels, so I'm excited to get to see that. But yeah, overall some really great sort of special features for Season 4. Alright, so now we're at the conclusion of the video here, and now I'm going to kind of give you sort of my thoughts on the release just as a whole, and if I would actually recommend it to you. So I would have to say that I think the value is definitely here for this release, even though I understand that at least for Canada here, I know for price-wise, you can actually get The Legend of Korra, the complete series, on Blu-ray for only $35, and then you're just getting the standard release of it, which doesn't have, obviously, any steelbook, anything like that. It just comes in a slip box, I believe, so it's nothing too spectacular packaging-wise. So you kind of have to break it down here of basically you can consider these discs here to be worth about $35, and then at least for me personally, the price has already dropped on Amazon, so when I pre-ordered it, it was the original $107.99, and then it dropped down to $100, so now with tax included, I'm paying about $113, so I'm paying a bit of a higher price. I mean, and by a bit, I'm putting it very lightly to make myself feel better about my purchase, but I'm paying quite a bit more for this release, but I feel like it's worth it if you're a collector of this, and I would definitely highly recommend it if you already own the Avatar The Last Airbender Steelbook collection, because this is just going to go with it so well. It's going to match up just basically perfectly, and I think that's going to be so cool when I eventually get this release. So I think that's definitely kind of the main target audience for this, is sort of people who already got that Steelbook collection, which you can actually still get, I believe, because that one was limited to 20,000 pieces, so there were quite a few more, so you should be able to still pick that one up on some sort of website. But I would say that if you're not a fan of, like, steelbooks, which if you're not, I mean, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. I'm sure something about this collection piqued your interest, and it's probably the fact that it's a steelbook limited edition collection. So if you are interested in steelbooks, I would highly recommend it. If you just want to get The Legend of Korra on Blu-ray, I honestly wouldn't recommend this collection. I would just recommend you getting the cheaper alternative, because then you're saving yourself a lot of money, and you still get the series with what I believe is the exact same features on it from what I can see from the press release. So I think that's really interesting, though, kind of the change in price there. It was the same deal with the Avatar set. I think it kind of created a divide within the community on whether or not it was kind of worth the price, considering it's just sort of a packaging change, but I believe it is. But I'm a collector at heart, so I really enjoy those sort of things where they change up the packaging, so I can appreciate it quite a bit, and I just love the artwork so much. I think it just looks absolutely amazing, so it's definitely the way that I would want to own the collection, but it's totally up to you. Be sure to let me know down below in the comment section if you're going to be picking up this collection. Once again, it does release on March 16th of 2021 and will retail in the US for $98 and then in Canada for $108. So a pretty darn high price point, but let me know all of your thoughts on it just in general. Even if you don't plan on picking it up, just let me know why you don't want to pick it up if you already own The Legend of Korra, or just your thoughts in general on The Legend Legend of Korra as well, just as a series. So yeah, I'm really interested to hear all of your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe. If you want to see some of my other content, I mainly cover Lego on this channel, but I also branch out on occasion and do videos like this for the other collectibles that I'm interested in. But thanks so much. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.